Your Magic the Gathering news report is brought to you in part by the channel MTG Anarchy, where we take a look into the world of Magic the Gathering and throw a little bit of mischief and chaos into the mix. This is your Magic the Gathering news report. My name is Michael. It's great to see you here. You know, I was gonna actually try something a little bit different with today's article. I was gonna do a little skit, possibly do a little bit of video, but this has now hit major Magic the Gathering news networks out there. Like, for example, the article that I'm going to cover today was released on WeGotThisCovered.com. Now, the article is titled, "Companion Cards Are Domineering Magic the Gathering's Esport Tournaments" by Joe Pring as of April 22nd of 2020. Now, just a heads up, we are going to be reading the article word from word for what this gentleman has to say. So, with that said, I will be taking it apart and I will be giving my own proper opinions when it comes to what they write in the articles. Also, just to let you know, I have not touched any of the cards. I have not played with any of the cards in general when it comes to Ikoria Lair of the Behemoths. I've just seen spoilers. And so just keep that in mind, but this is coming from my thoughts as just a general paper Magic player when it comes to Commander. Okay? Now that that's all out of the way, let's jump right into the article. A new Magic the Gathering keyword introduced with Ikoria Lair of Behemoths has already had a massive impact on the metagame despite the set being less than a week old. Companions, creature spells that trigger a permanent effect by meeting predetermined conditions, are not only domineering standard play, but almost every rule set considered legal for competitive play. The majority of top players participating in various Magic the Gathering online tournaments since Ikoria's release opted to build their strategy around one of the powerful cards, with Arena Deck Lists podcast co-host Brian Gottlieb recently pointing out just how prevalent companions have proven to be in such a short space of time. The number of top finishes taken by decks, including any one of 10 companions available, was as follows, according to Gottlieb. Okay, before we continue, let's stop here for a second. Honestly, to me, this is expected. I mean, this is coming from a brand new set many people have had their eyes on. They want to go ahead and try out these new cards. They're going to put them in decks that are new and decks that have already been pre-made, pre-done. Ultimately, for individuals to say this wasn't going to be domineering within the first week, I mean, if you're potentially crazy if you think that wasn't going to happen with a brand new set of cards coming out, especially with what Companion can actually do. Now, please keep in mind, I do not know what sort of decks these are in. All I know is what format they were in and where they were in that, or how many of them were in there. That's all I really know just based off this article, so please just keep that in mind. Now, reading down this list, it looks like decks with Companion in them, as well as their sideboard, they came in first and second in the Vintage Challenge, first to fourth in the Legacy Challenge, the entire top 8 of the Modern Challenge, first to fourth in the Pioneer Challenge, and 6 of 8 slots in the top 8 of the Standard Challenge. Yeah, this is about right. Moving on, is the obvious prevalence of such a small number of archetypes a problem? That depends on who you ask. There's always going to be a best deck. No, it's not. Basically what it is the fact that they're trying to put Commander in multi-card formats, which is a problem and an issue. This is going to be an absolute problem with any sort of format that is not a singleton format. Hands down. Why? Because in Commander and Brawl, in these two specific formats, which are singleton formats, unless specified as such, you do not have access to multiples of the exact same card needed to go off by turn 2. But moving forward with the article, though generally speaking, CCGs can quickly become stale when top-end play predominantly consists of just a handful of decks. Variety is key to a healthy competitive scene then, and Wizards of the Coast will undoubtedly be paying close attention to how events unfold in the months to come. Wait a minute, hold on. That last part should say, hopefully, Wizards of the Coast will be paying close attention to how events unfold in the months to come. Truthfully, I do hope they keep an eye on these formats to see where Companion stacks within everything, within each and every meta that is out there. Because honestly, to me, if they don't, this is just going to get out of hand with Companion in general. And that is that. We wouldn't at all be surprised to see a number of the most popular companions, particularly Lurrus of the Dream Den, be banned from various Magic the Gathering formats in the near future. Though we'll just have to wait to see if the company decides such drastic measures are necessary. Hold on for a moment. It's this statement right here which reminds me of the video I did yesterday about bannings. Now, for those of you who have not seen that video, which is many of you, as well as just don't want to watch that video, I understand that, so let me just go ahead and put it in layman's terms. Basically, we've had 11 bans thus far within the year, and it's not even the end of April. And ultimately, my thoughts is that this needs to go back to not only the creation of set cards, but also playtesting at least 3 to 6 months to see how these cards will affect the current meta, if it's a good thing or if it's a bad thing. That's basically what I discussed in the video yesterday. This right here is the reason of why we need closer playtesting to a product's release. So there could be revisions, so there could be things that can go ahead and change it. Unfortunately, that does not happen, and that's what results in multiple bans within a format. Honestly, to me, this is possibly going to happen with Companion. Companion in general isn't as bad as Phyrexian Mana, but it is up there. And honestly, from what I've seen and from what I've heard people play with it, if you're on the opposite end of these Companion-esque decks, you're SOL. You are legitimately SOL. And that is something that just blows my mind. But here's my bottom line about this specific article, as well as Companion in general. To me, to my opinion and my opinion alone, this mechanic shouldn't have existed. They should have not created this specific mechanic whatsoever. I mean, let's truly think about what this does for any sort of format in general. Let's first talk about the multi-card formats like Standard, Pauper, Pioneer, Modern, those sort of formats. Not only are you able to start with 8 cards in hand from the beginning of the game, from the get-go, you're also able to have multiple copies of said Companion card within the deck. And then for single card formats, you potentially, for Brawl, can have up to 9 cards in the beginning of the game that you have access to, if not 10 cards, up to 10 cards within Commander, as long as you're controlling a partner commander as well as one of these companions, although they have to do what it says on the companion for the companion cost. Also, keep in mind that unlike Commander, Companion has access to all colors within the color wheel as long as it states within that companion cost. So yeah, expect broken things to happen in the future with this mechanic. But that said, those are my thoughts when it comes to Companion. That's my thoughts on this article. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. But that was your Magic the Gathering news report here on MTG Anarchy. Now, before you go, I would actually appreciate it if you could like and share this video, so that way it could help out within the algorithm so more people could see these types of videos here on YouTube when it comes to Magic the Gathering content. I would also appreciate it if you could go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell notification if you haven't already done so you can keep up to date with any new videos that do come out here on the channel, here on MTG Anarchy. And I would finally appreciate it because of the times that we live in currently. Honestly, I would appreciate it if you not only supported myself and other creators here on YouTube, as well as other platforms that you go on to when it comes to Magic the Gathering content, but also to go ahead and support your local game stores, if you can financially, that is. Because we're all one community, those are the places that I personally love to support, and honestly, I would hope you guys do so too. But all said and done, this is Michael here with your Magic the Gathering news report here on MTG Anarchy. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you all tomorrow.